Hello, this is Brent with TheraSaaS, and in this video, we're going to do a deep dive into tracking referral sources inside TheraSaaS and how to do this. So, this first part we're going to be talking about is how to prepare to TheraSaaS to track referrals, and then how to add referral sources to TheraSaaS, and then how to track referral sources using smart lists and maybe even some dashboards. And the whole idea here is you want to be able to track those referral sources, those people who are sending you clients inside TheraSaaS, and then using it to be able to create dashboards or reports like this smart list to see who your top referral sources are. Okay. All right. So let's jump into how to prepare TheraSaaS, because you're going to need some certain custom fields and tags inside of it to start tracking. All right. So let's jump in. All right, the first thing you're going to want to do is create a custom tag called referral source. So let's get into settings, and then, oh, by the way, if this looks small on your screen, there should be an option to make it full screen for you as well. So make sure you click on that little box, usually in the bottom right hand corner. All right, let's go to tags here, and let's add a tag. I don't think I have this one yet, do I? I do not. All right, so we're going to add a tag called referral source. Referral source. I like to use underscores, or you can use regular hyphens too. Okay, but I like to use underscores as well. Let's create that referral source. Okay, let's double check. We got that tag referral. All right, so we create that tag. Great. Now the next thing we want to do, if you haven't done this yet, is to create a custom field that you typically would have on your intake form. So let's go to custom fields here, and let's just type in, how did you hear about us? Okay, so this is already in here. Now, I want to take a side road to the way folders work. So the way folders work is you can have custom fields inside of a folder, and that will also show up in the hierarchy of the contacts. So for example, how did you hear about us? Let's jump over to here to the contacts, and let's just click on therapist A, and this is I think it was under additional info. Okay, so it was actually under the folder new client appointment form. How did you hear about us? So you can keep that there, or you could create a new folder called referral source. So let's show you how you could do that if you'd like. So we do have this question, and if you don't have that yet, make sure that it's a single text box. So let's check that out. All right, so I'm just going to type into how did, and this is going to be a contact. I'm going to click on this, and so you can show you. So this is just a single line. How did you hear about us? And you have this unique key that you cannot change. All right, so that's good. Now let's create another one called, we're going to call this referral count. So let me just see if we have this already. Okay, we don't. Great. So let's go ahead. Let's check out the folders here, and we're going to create a new folder first. We're just going to call this referral sources. Referral sources. Let's save. You're going to see this referral sources right here. Let's go ahead and add a custom field in here, and we're going to make this a number because we want to track how many times a contact refers to us. So this is going to be, we're going to call this referral count under the contact. Okay, and there we go. We could change this to be, no, I think that works for the contact key. That works good. All right, so let's hit save. And now let's go back to a contact here, just to kind of show you how this all works out. So we're under therapist A. You're going to see this new little drop down here because we created a new folder, and we're going to have a referral count. And let's just say 5. Oops. Oh, you can pinch to zoom, and it really rolls up on the numbers there. Good to know. And let's hit save. Okay, great. So now we have, we've updated those custom fields. We created a tag, and our forms are good to go. Let me just make sure that your form has that how did you hear about us. So all you need to do is double check this if you don't have it yet. Let's go to new client appointment form, and it should be down here is how did you hear about us. But let's go ahead and delete it and show you how to add it again. Just go to custom fields up here, Just type in how did you hear about us. It's right there. Just drag and drop it right there. We'll hit save. And we're good to go. All right, so now it's back in there. Okay, let's move on to part 2, adding referral sources to TheraSaaS. So let's say you get you do some research, you get someone's name off the internet, or someone fills out the how did you hear about us button. Now we need to fill out a contact. Well, you can start simple by just creating a new contact here, referral source source A, right? And you're going to need an email or a phone number to validate that. But let's just go ahead and work with therapist A right now as a referral source. So what I'm going to do is, there's therapist A is really a new referral source. So I'm going to tag this person. I'm going to do hide empty fields real quick. You see they have referred us 23 times. Let's add a tag called referral source. We already have it in our system. Great. So that's been added. And let's go back to, great, I'm going to refresh my page so that it updates the information. And we'll see that Therapist A is now a referral source. Okay, let's jump back into Therapist A because I want to show you something as it relates to companies so you can create relationships. So let's say there's a large therapy practice or a hospital or somebody, and lots of people refer to you from one source. So let's just add a new company. We're just going to call this Acme Counseling. Okay, and you can add in the rest of the information here if you like, but let's go ahead and add this company. And now we've actually created an association between Therapist A and this company. Now, if you'd like to see a whole list of companies, you can go up here, click on companies. You'll see we have one company listed. Let's go ahead and click on this here. And then I'm going to go to the associations. And then you'll see everyone that is associated with this company, okay? Company information, you can fill that all out when you can. All right, so there you go. We have, we created that contact, or at least added the tag referral source to that contact. And then we also created a company. So those are the two things that we need to do about adding referral sources to TheraSaaS, especially with that tag. All right, so now we're going to jump into how to actually track these referral sources. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a smart list. And as a smart list, this smart list is just a way to organize any information inside of TheraSaaS. And you do this by creating a filter, and then you essentially save this filter as a smart list. So now we're going to create one for referral sources, and we're going to make sure the tag is referral source. So filter out everybody who's been tagged as a referral source, okay? And then we're going to add another one, referral count. And we could say that the referral count is, for now, let's just say is greater than 1. And then we're going to go down here at the bottom. It says save a smart list. You can see we have the one contact. Let's save a smart list. I'm going to say, let's call this top referral sources. Okay. Or if you want just to track all of your referral sources, you could just call it referral sources. Let's say top referral sources. All right, so there we go. Now the next thing I want to add is some columns that can help us get some information. So we already have tags created for the column. Let's look for a referral count in alphabetical order. So let's add that. You can see the referral count added. Let's also add the company name. Oops. Let's go up here to company name. And then let's also add the last note. So we'll just say last note. All right, so now we have this. You have to save this again. So down here, just click save, not as new, but just hit save. All right, so now we've saved that. Let's add one more referral source if possible. So let's go back to all. And let's just say, hey, referral source A. Let's see, just make up a name here for now. Okay, Let's tag them referral source. And then remember under referral sources, I'm going to unhide all those fields. Let's just do, let's do 5. Let's hit save. Okay, so referral source A tagged. That's good. Now let's jump into top referral sources, and we'll see that referral source A has been added and all our columns have stayed the same. Okay, so that is creating a smart list to be able to track your referral sources. Let's go ahead and say, all right, Brent, I want to add a traditional sales pipeline because you can't grow what you don't measure. And now we need to measure a few things here. So let's go to opportunities. And I'm going to switch to another account where it has a referral source pipeline built out. So let's go to opportunities, and we have a referral source pipeline right here. Okay. Now let's go ahead and see here. New referral source. Thank you. Schedule meeting top. All right. So we're going to use this real quick. We can expand upon it later. All right, so let's create a new pipeline. We're going to go to pipelines, and we're going to call this referral source tracking. All right, so let's get that first stage in here. Okay, so I'm kind of putting a simple little sales pipeline together here. So new referral source, intro in one letter sent. This is something from the private pay practice program that Deb Leggy and I have. So it's like an introductory letter. And this, of course, you want to handwrite this. Follow-up 2, follow-up 3. And you can add little notes to this if you want, handwritten. You don't always want to have an email. You could do email follow-up if you want. If you have a template, you can send that through TheraSaaS and automate it. Schedule lunch, coffee, Zoom, and then first referral sent. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save here and create that pipeline. So let's jump over to here. And now we have our referral tracking. And now let's go ahead and add these new opportunities in here. So let's do, what is it, therapist A. I think it belongs in here. And then let's go ahead and add the referral source A as well. Okay. So we have added these in here. Now, what you can do with TheraSaaS that would be kind of interesting is if there's a follow-up email that you haven't heard, that's like a template, you can just drag that over here and do that. That'd be pretty cool. And if, by the way, if this contact card doesn't show up, let's go ahead and just refresh the page and it should show up. All right, there we go. So you could set up a template email to be sent here, but I would just do this as manual as possible. And really the win is if they, send you a referral. Oops. Move that all the way over here. There you go. So that's kind of have a pipeline. And what I would do is set a time in your calendar every Wednesday at 2 o'clock to create more referral sources to reach out to. Have someone on your team do some researching that we can add to this and follow up with, because you can't grow what you can't measure, and treating referral sources as relationships that you just need to follow up on. And this is a simple pipeline to do that with. One thing I would do is to not mark them as like a conversion inside of this, because it will mark it as a conversion inside the system. So I would just, you could just mark them as abandoned if you wanted to move them out of here, or jump into their contact card here and just remove them from the pipeline altogether. And the way you just remove them altogether is just hit the little delete button here on the opportunity card pop up. Okay, before we get back into dashboards and how to track some of these in a dashboard format, I do want to add, let's go ahead and add a Dr. Doom Psychiatry here. So I'm just going to select that and copy it. And let's go ahead and add him real fast, because I want to be able to show you, I'm going to do, I'll just add some fake emails there. Okay, so I want to add, I want to be able to show you how to track some of these things over time. That could be helpful. I'm multitasking here, which is not helpful at all. All right, so Dr. Doom Psychiatry is now new referral source. if I go back here, I added 40 people to him. There you go. He's referred 40 times. And let's go ahead and let's add a note because I think that could be helpful. It just said, sent client B to the practice in May 2025. All right, so we'll hit save and let's go back to, I'm going to refresh that page since I added that note. Send client B to the practice in May. There it is. All right, so let's jump over to our dashboards. Okay, inside this demo account, we have our standard dashboard, but let's go ahead and create a new dashboard. If we do this little select down here, and depending on what permission levels you have within your account, admin should be able to add a dashboard. You can see here that I've created one called Referral Source, but I just want to show you what this looks like. You can create a blank dashboard, give it a name, who has access to it, and things like that. And then you can, I'll just do test dashboard, testing dash, and let's just give everyone full here so you can kind of see what this looks like, because there's going to be some pre-populated ones that you can get here. I'm going to show you how to do this manually, but you can see what you can, like, there's just different options you can choose from, and then you can edit them accordingly. All right, so, but let's go ahead and just select the referral source dashboard that I created. Now what I'm going to be doing is tracking all referral contacts, how many are opened in that pipeline, referral pipeline, and then referral source by company, and then a referral count over the year, okay, over the, I think, till date and monthly. All right, so that way you can see each month how many referral sources you've had come through that are in that opportunity. So what I'm going to do here before I forget, I actually want, if you click on this, you can see who those are inside of that opportunity. I'm going to add Dr. Doom Psychiatry to this one so you can kind of see it month to month. So let's go ahead and do this real quick. Referral source, let's add the Doom, Dr. Doom here. Okay. So he has been added. Okay, so he's in here. Let's go back to dashboards. And you'll see here now that it's broken out each month because I added a new one right here. So this is just to kind of track how many referral sources you're adding to the pipeline and reaching out to at any given time. All right, so let's see what we need to do here. So let's go ahead. This is the calendar date, the selection tool, which some of these dashboards are going to be based off of, but you can see here this till date, which is basically, all time up until the current date that is today. So this will not affect these numbers. So if I say the last 7 days, this shouldn't reflect anything because they're all to the till date. But let's go ahead and edit this dashboard. And I'm going to select this one just to show you how I created it. So what I did here is I add a widget, and you're going to see a ton of widget options here. And I'm just going to do counts of contact. That's what I did there. And then I'm going to give it a condition. And you can see the different charts here, donut, line, bar, things like that. I'm going to give it a condition, and I'm going to go to tags, and the tag needs to be referral source. Okay. I'm going to go back to configure here, and then you can say, what do you want, created on, I think is okay, is what you want to go on, but the date's what's going to matter. So the dashboard date range is say, okay, I want you to show me how many were created based on the dashboard. And let me just show you what that looks like. And I'll just do the previous year before as like a comparison date. You're going to see one because I created that Dr. Doom down there, and it's 100% since we did it last year. Now we're going to say actually it needs to be till the till date. Let's say here though we need to change the title to referral sources, and then I might just say till date in here. I like to just give it, because this can be a little wonky if you're not familiar with it. But let's go to the date range override, and we'll say the till date. Click on that, save changes, and you'll see the till date right here. And what I'm going to do, if I click on that, it will bring up all the different referral sources that have been tagged, because that is the conditions. Let's go back to edit one more time, and you can then move it up here, and size it up accordingly, like that. Okay. I'll just go ahead and delete this one. Opened opportunities. So this is basically saying, I want you to show me all the referral sources that have been in that open referral pipeline that we created. So let's jump into the conditions. The status has to be open. Oops. And then the pipeline has to be the referral source. So let's rebuild this here. Let's delete these. Add a condition status is going to be open. And then we're going to do the pipeline is referral source pipeline, okay? Now the way I got to this metric here, you're like, Brent, how do I add that? You're right, I should have showed you that first. Under opportunities, and then all I did was show open opportunities. So let me show you that again. Open opportunities here. We're going to change the name to just referral source. So it gives it a little different. Let's go to the, I'm going to say the, I don't have to, it doesn't have to be the till date. Let's just say the date of the dashboard here for now. And then, well, yeah, let's you can always play with that. Let's go to the conditions, status is open, and we want to say, hey, the pipeline, otherwise it's going to grab from all the pipelines, referral source pipeline. And now you'll notice here is that the till date is to 1. Let's move this here instead of 4. Now that's because it's not on the till date. So if I go all the way down here, it says till date, change it, that'll be to 4. So you can have both, but we can also just say, let's change the name up here, open source, and then we'll just say dashboard date range if you want, because it's not going to show that underneath that little, like this till date here, which is really nice. It doesn't do that for that here. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit save, and then save changes here. Okay, opportunity counts. Now this is going to be different. Let's recreate this one down here. And we're going to add a widget. And let's go to opportunity count. And we're going to say, all right, instead of the number, we want you to show me a bar line of this. Let's go ahead and break it down monthly, or we could even say quarterly. Let's see what that looks like. And we're going to do the till date, okay, no comparisons, and again we're going to it's open, condition, pipeline is the referral source pipeline. Let's bring this down here and we can see the difference. All right, so this one's monthly, this one's quarterly. Let's just do yearly. And there you go. You can see the yearly scoop. Let me hit save. I want to say opportunity count, open yearly. I want to say open opportunity, open referral source. Sorry, I'm getting tired now after doing this longer video. All right, now let's do this last one here as a little bit of a pie chart. So let's hit save, save changes. Okay, of course you can make these smaller too, so you don't have to scroll so much. All right, so referral source by company. Now I can't do a referral source by contact yet. That's helpful. That's where you have to go back to your contacts and then do this right now to see who your top referral counts are, because we can say referral count greater than 5. That's what's showing that here. So there's no way to do that on the dashboard easily and connect it easily to the actual contact and show the name. So, but you can do, let's go to the referral source. Again, you can click on these and then see which company that they're associated with. The contact is associated with. So let's just see what the top companies are. So let's go here, referral source. Let's add a widget. and let's say source by company. All right, I believe we go to contacts, and we're going to go scroll down here, total contacts till date. And let's go over to conditions. So we're going to hit, first we're going to hit the donut, and then we're going to go to conditions, and we're going to add the conditions to the referral count. So let's go to custom fields. Referral count is more than, we're going to say more than 1. Okay, so hit save there. And then, all right, so now we have that. Now we need to group them according to the company name. We're going to say, show us the top 10, or you could say 10 or 15 if you want. And we're going to do created on till date here. And there we go. Now we recreated this one right here. So let's hit save changes. And now all you need to do is, if you're curious about the contacts inside of here, you just hit that and you should be able to see who that contact is. Now you see so see we have 3 contacts here that aren't associated with a company. Okay. Now the other thing we can't do right now is actually show the custom field in this. I hope we can update this later, but these different columns here, we can't, we can only subtract the columns, some of the columns out of here, and not add them. So let's say here, let's go back to editing. And then I believe it's a table. Actually, I don't think we can do that right now. It's a table, you can do that, but there's no way to edit the table at the moment. Let's go ahead and add this a green one. Just add a little flavor to that. Save those changes. Okay, so that's a bit of a deep dive into how you can use TheraSaaS as a way to track referral sources, and that way you can know who to be reaching out to. My recommendation is every quarter, have your team sit down, check out, every week your admin is adding referral sources. When somebody fills out the how did you hear about me, they're adding referral sources into TheraSaaS. They have a smart list that you can check in and see who your top referral sources are. And then that way, once a quarter or every 6 months, you sit down and write out thank you notes. You can send out flowers to your top referral sources. And in the meantime, as the practice owner or the clinical director, you have a referral source pipeline, and you are adding people to this pipeline. And then actually, I think this is the pipeline that I updated here, there. And you're moving people along, and you're actively reaching out to people. The other nice thing is if you have this inside TheraSaaS, as far as your top referral sources, or let's go back over here, that let's say you hire somebody new. All you need to do is you can print this out for them. You could export this contact information, because you could also add columns like the address and things like that to the columns. Print it out, export it as a CSV file if you want, and then have them handwrite letters or write emails to them when they get first hired, so they can introduce themselves. I think that's a great way to do that. One of the things I do for my marketing clients is design a simple thank you card that you can do to write to referral sources and introduce themselves. I think another great way that you could do that is just maybe a business card they can send along, or if there's even a, let's see, like for example, my wife's private practice, this little referral card we send out to referral sources. So those referral sources can just say, hey, go talk to Susan at Kid Matters. Here's the contact information. They specialize in kids, something like that. But at the end of the day, you need a system, and TheraSaaS can support that system. You need a system to consistently reach out to new referral sources. So, all right, well, there you go. There's a deep dive, another deep dive with TheraSaaS and how to track referral sources using TheraSaaS. Leave us any questions in the comments section below. If you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.